Welcome back to MMA Sucka Fight fans. My name is Nate Freeman, and I'm joined today by the former MMA light heavyweight, former referee, and now the CEO of BKFC Thailand, Nick the Headhunter Chapman. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Nate. How are you, mate? You good?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
And obviously, you're in beautiful Thailand right now. Just look at the background. That is not a green screen. That is the actual background.
That's my background. Yeah, sun's
That's right.
going down, so it's a bit dark, but that is the background. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So we'll get right into it. For those that don't know, I just mentioned you were an MMA light heavyweight, fought on the British regional scene, fighting for Cage Rage, UCMMA, fought the likes of Jimmy Manuwa, Linton Vassell, and people like that. Just sort of give me some of your favorite moments and some of your highlights from your MMA career.
Wow. Okay, MMA for me was like a religion. I mean, I started off early on in life. I was just fascinated by martial arts, as everybody in MMA. Bruce Lee, Rocky Balboa, you know, the legends of our time. They inspired me to fight. I grew up as a young lad, and obviously there was no such thing as MMA, so I was just like every other MMA fighter, or most that I know. I was getting into a lot of trouble just fighting on the streets and in school and what have you. And I sat there with my friends one day and watched TV, and UFC come on, and it was like, it was like a eureka moment for me. My life just changed. I went, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. And then I went out and found a gym and just got my head down and trained. And then I ended up fighting. But when I started, it was more just for fun. I just wanted to let off some steam, some aggression, and get fit. I didn't really know if I was going to make much of a career out of it, because I'd started quite late in life, 33. And I had a few issues getting there, and I didn't really have much training proper MMA training when I went for my first fight, and I won it quite quickly. And I thought, we'll have another go. So it just kind of spiraled from there, really. And some of the best moments of my life have took place in and around that cage.
Absolutely. And you were lucky enough to even pick up some championships for UCMMA, fought for the title a few times. And then you retired in 2015 or so, and you then eventually moved to Thailand and became a referee. And you refereed for one championship among other promotions. Talk to me, about why you moved to Thailand, and then, we'll start with that, and then we'll go to the next question.
Yeah. So, I mean, my goal initially was just to fight. I didn't really think I'd make a career of it, but I ended up selling hundreds and hundreds of tickets. I started getting all these sponsorships and all this media attention around me. I was like, this is great. Like, what else would I want to be doing? So then I set my goals on winning the Cage Rage light heavyweight title. Bearing in mind, we had some of the best guys around at the time fighting, like Jimmy Manuwa and Linton Vassell. I fought both of those guys. I fell short from probably a lack of experience, but I was there and I give it my best shot. I eventually did. I got that title. I won another title, like a regional British title as well, on another event. So that was kind of cool. Then I got old, and you're never going to win that fight. That's a fight you're never going to win. So 39 years of age when I won the title, and decided, like, my body just, my heart and my brain just kept wanting to carry on, but your body just won't let you, you know. So I sort of hit a bit of a, like all fighters do, you know, coming away from something you love and has been such an amazing part of your life is a very difficult thing to break away from. And I wouldn't say I get depressed, because I don't, but I felt something wasn't right. So I just took a look at my life. Had some successful companies, some houses. I was doing okay financially. So I said, you know, sod this. Like, I need a change. I don't want to be in this shitty cold weather anymore. I don't want to be here. So I come and visit a friend in Thailand. I never left. When I come here, actually, I had every intention of not really doing a lot. I thought, you know what, I'm going to just sit on my laurels. I'm going to take it easy now and semi-retire. 2 weeks into that, I sat by the pool here and I was like, no, I can't do that. So I went out and I was working for Fairtex. Being at Fairtex, I met some amazing people here. And the scene here is just incredible. The whole country is just like, it's combat sports is woven into its fabric, you know. It is just part of everyday life. So I just found myself just deeply immersed back in my passion. Just things happened from there. I started got a phone call from one championship. Would I be interested in refereeing? And it wasn't something I'd considered. I was wrapping hands and I was helping backstage, and then I was managing some fighters and I was putting on a few small events, and it just went from there. So I ended up refereeing for the World Leftweight Championships, which I loved. That's my favorite sport. The headbutts illegal. It's great. And I refereed for one championship, FMD. And then ended up doing a referee for the very first BKFC rules fight in Phuket, which is fantastic. A guy called John Nutt ran it on the edge of a cliff. It was amazing. The most beautiful background you've ever seen. It was crazy. It was outside. I just loved the ruggedness of the sport, the excitement of it. And I got in touch with Dave Feldman after that. And at BKFC then become a big part of my life. So it's quite a journey, but that's a long story short for you.
Fair enough. Talk to me a little bit, going back to your refereeing days, talk to me a little bit about some of your favorite fights that you refereed, some of your favorite moments from that time in your life. Obviously, you mentioned the Bare Knuckle Kingdom event that John Nutt put on the edge of a cliff, literally. The pictures from that event are just beautiful. But talk to me about some of your favorite fights and favorite moments beyond that.
Okay, so I didn't really have a lot of experience in refereeing, but obviously know the game very well. I got a phone call. I ended up refereeing for one championship. One of the most amazing moments of my life was standing there, literally as they just announced my name, the first time I'd ever really refereed a real high level fight. And it was in front of like millions of viewers for one championship. Like, I loved that excitement. It was almost like being back in the fight again. It was brilliant. And things happened so fast in there. It was incredible. And, you know, I watched some great fighters, Stan Fairtex win, Y2K from Fairtex, he won as well. And a guy called Mark Abelardo, great fighter, refereed his fights. So they was just incredible. But just going there, being part of the whole one championship team. And it's just amazing. The left way, now that is next level for me. Okay, so the world left way, so that is basically Muay Thai, except headbutts are legal. It's bare knuckle, and you can do slams as well. And I'd never really heard much about left way, and then someone said, "Look, would you be interested?" Because I've done a lot of training and coaching for refereeing, and I watched it and I went, "Fuck yeah, I definitely want to. I don't want to ref. I want to fight this shit, but I'm too old." So I was refereeing the left way, and that just blew me away. The athletes were just incredible, but the whole sweep thing, like the body locks and the frozen slams you can do in left way, caught me off guard. I was in there just about to split because there was too much clinch going on, and they like you to split after 3 to 5 seconds. And as I went into split, one of the opponents has done a hip throw, like a judo hip toss, and the foot's come around and cracked me straight in the side of the head, right in the middle of the belt. Took it like a true soldier, carried on, and that was a great moment. And again, I think, like, you know, the Bare Knuckle Kingdom event for me to referee on the edge of a cliff in Phuket with the most beautiful scenery, with some of the, you know, some great fighters, just they got heart of lions and warriors. These people, they get in there and they throw down with bare knuckles. For me, being in the middle of that action on the edge of that cliff was just next level. That blew me away.
How much do you regret that you are just a little bit, you just missed the window for where you could have fought bare knuckle and Lethway and BKFC and all of that?
That's a good question. Let me tell you one thing. I've got no regrets, right? I have lived the most incredible life. Okay, I don't regret anything. I've not missed out on a thing, because I grew up on the streets where we were doing a lot worse than headbutts and bare knuckle, let me tell you. So I've had all my fun and excitement. Yeah, okay, part of me would love to have fought left way and bare knuckle, of course. You know, that would have been great, but I still get to indulge my passion, and I'm the type of guy that's like, it wasn't around when I was fighting, so it wasn't something that I feel like I've missed out on. And as I say, where I come from, you know, I've had the adrenaline, I've had the excitement. I mean, it would be good to fight left way, and it would be good to fight BKFC, but yeah, I'm happy. I've got no regrets.
That's great. Moving on to your current project working with BKFC Thailand. Talk to me a little bit. Obviously, you talked about how you got interested in BKFC, and you said you reached out to Dave Feldman. Talk to me about sort of the process of how BKFC Thailand came about beyond making the connection with Dave Feldman, and basically how you got to this point today with the promotion.
Okay, so yeah, I'd heard of BKFC, but the first time I had a real like in-depth experience with it was Bare Knuckle Kingdom in Phuket, and I loved it. I just I thought this is I'm back. So then I reached out to Dave Feldman, and Dave is a very, very busy guy. Okay, so Dave is not the type of guy that's got time to hold anyone's hand, right? So I approached Dave with a proposal, and the thing what people don't know about me is I spent a lot of my life studying high-level business studies. I presented him with an entire business plan, a watertight marketing strategy. I had funds and proved where the funds were originating from, and that we actually had those funds. I've got high connection business partners here in Thailand. I literally had everything. I even had a full production plan, 3D walkthroughs of the event and everything. It was one of those scenarios where I made it easy for him. It's like, he's not going to sit there and waste time. He hasn't got time to waste. So I presented him with this proposal. He was really interested straight away. He went, I like the look of this. Okay. And it kind of went from there, really. I got to work and started doing what I said I was going to do. And then we run the event. We run the first event on the 18th of December. And Dave has just been incredible. I mean, the support we get from Dave is amazing. But it takes some work because, like I say, he's a very busy guy and he isn't going to jump on anything that really he can't see value in it. And he certainly hasn't got time to hold people's hands. So, yeah, it was quite a long process. To put it bluntly, but yeah, we're there now, and it's great, loving it.
And then on the Thailand side, obviously, you said you made connections with some very influential people in the country, and the country is very much interwoven with fighting. They literally have Muay Thai named after, it came from their country. So yeah. I feel like that was sort of an easy sell to them, but talk to me a little bit about how you got them on board to do this promotion as well.
Do you know, that's actually a really interesting concept that you just talked about there. So, okay, look, Thailand created the most devastating striking art the world knows, called Muay Thai. I mean, that's common knowledge. So the Thai people absolutely love and understand striking, more so than they do MMA with the BKFC, because the half Thai clinch is legal. You can clinch and you can strike inside the clinch. So for Thai people and bare knuckles, I mean, dude, they created bare knuckle fighting for millenniums. It's been going on forever in Thailand, so it's not new to them. And you watch the way these lads just turn up for a bare knuckle fight. They're so kind. It means nothing to them. Like, you just get in there and fight. Some of them jump in the ring with like 150 fights. It's Muay Baran or Karchuek, bare knuckle, roped hands, Muay Thai, and so yeah, but interestingly enough, because the history is so stooped in Muay Thai, they're kind of adverse to anything new that could maybe encroach on the Muay Thai scene. So you got to be real careful here. I love Thailand. I respect it immensely. So I'm kind of treading real carefully with that. But I presented it to my business partner, Kun Golf, who's a fantastic guy, an amazing level of support. He's very well connected. He's a very successful businessman. And he has a lot of connections here, which has been a massive help. So I put together an amazing proposal in line with Kun Golf, my business partner now. And we went to the right people with the right plan. And we got permits to run the event. We're in discussions now with a mainstream TV channel. We've got some big level sponsors, and we've got a very exciting year planned. So it's kind of a combination of, planning and preparation is everything. You've got to plan, you've got to prepare, you've got to think of every scenario. You got to have the right people on board, and then you've got to be able to back up what you're saying. You've got to be able to prove, like, physically on paper that we can do this and this is what we're going to do there. So, but having the connections helps. And funny enough, I got lucky with that. There's a friend of mine I used to work with in Fairtex, ended up working with this guy, Kun Golf, my business partner. And he recommended me to golf. We had the conversation, and here we are.
Fantastic. And we are glad you're here. You had your first event, like you said, on the 18th of December.
Yeah.
And I personally watched it and it looked fantastic. A lot of the
Oh,
production was similar to BKFC,
mm,
in terms of, you had the same BKFC announcer, Sean Wheelock, and Chris
yeah.
Lieben was on the call.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
inside the cage, though, it looked a little bit different because the Thai fighters, their style of striking is different than what we're used to seeing in BKFC with, typically
Yeah.
MMA fighters and um, former boxers. So it was a little
Yeah.
bit different inside the cage, but I feel like that gives a new twist to BKFC. Talk to me
Yeah.
about how you felt the first event went. Obviously, you're going to say it went well, but talk to me about maybe some things that you learned from the first event that you can work to improve in the future, and how you can go from there.
Well, great analysis, by the way. Yeah. So the production level you can see is world class. I mean, we cut no corners. We went absolutely full hilt with it. The ring we had built by PK Boxing, in my opinion, I think they're top ring builders in the world. They're just incredible. They build one championship ring, world left weight championship rings. They built our ring. They're incredible. I mean, it was like a work of art when it was all built up and the lights went on. It blew me away. I had goosebumps. It was just beautiful. Yes, funny enough, because of Muay Thai and the history of Muay Thai in Thailand, a lot of the fighters here, they all come from a very Muay Thai background, more so than the boxing or even the MMA, because MMA in Thailand is still a very developing sport. It's not mainstream by any stretch, but Muay Thai is. So Muay Thai and left way are the two main backgrounds that we have coming in. We have some very well-known Western boxers here as well from Thailand. But the thing about Thailand and the Thai people is they're very respectful, and that come across in the ring how respectful they are. And when you watch the BKFC in America, you see these guys just going at it. They ain't got no respect. They want to take each other's heads off. Here, there's a little bit more respect. I liked it. I thought it was really nice. We are definitely going to work on the skills. And we're going to speak to them more about, they can clinch. Like, the funny thing was, like, we're in Thailand, they created the clinch and they weren't using it. So we're going to restructure the bonuses and how we get them to perform inside the ring. But I think it was brilliant. I was really pleased with how it went. The thing with Thailand is that we have a lot of our company. We have some high level business people, some very respectful business people that are backing us, and they wanted us more of a respectful element because it's for the Thai audience, and we delivered exactly that. But that being said, the next event, we got a couple of Thailand titles coming up, so we've got our own titles and championship belts being made. They're beautiful, by the way. And we got some big guys going to be slugging out. We got some real heavy hitters. I got a guy that's fought on Glory, over 100 fights. I'm not going to say too much right now. Multiple world champions in Muay Thai and a couple of MMA 3-time champions. Big guys. So you should see a bit more violence, a bit more blood if you want to see that. But we're still going to have a lot of the respectful side of Muay Thai involved in BKFC Thailand because we like that.
And some of the standout fighters from the first event are coming back, like Kayvon Soleimani, who scored a quick knockout in the main event on very short notice. Suris Manfredi in the only women's fight looked great, and she's coming back. And then Ty Emery, who is a model and amateur MMA fighter, is set to return. It seems like you're already starting to build some stars in the promotion and looking to build around them. Talk to me about how you're going about doing that.
Love it. I love what you said. Yeah. So look, Suri Manfredi, she is incredible. I mean, she's an amazing person. She's an amazing athlete. She's probably one of the most dedicated and hardworking people I've met in the sport. She's a world left way champion. She's incredible. I was officiating the event that she won her title, and it was brutal. I mean, the other girl, bless her, was amazing too, but Suri is just relentless, non-stop, headbutts and all of that. So she won that legitimately. She's had 2 bare knuckle fights now and won them both. So she's definitely in line for a title. We're looking to develop her. And I believe she's got what it takes at 52 kilos to step over the water. and have a little stab at the Americans, for want of a better term. So we've got Soleimani, where the guy come out of nowhere. Well, he's had 79 Muay Thai fights, card 2X fights with a roped hands, and he's a left way veteran too. The guy is a beast. And yeah, he made short work of TJ Chang. But it could have gone either way. You know, TJ can fight. He's a good fighter, but you know, with bare knuckles, it's very unforgiving. It was a case of who got in there first, and that's what happened there. But we want to see more of Soleimani. So now we're asking the question: did he get lucky, or is this guy the real deal? So we've actually got plans to bring some big names in from the States to test this guy now, because we believe he's got what it takes. So yeah, we're building him. Ty Emery, she's just been signed to BKFC in the States, but she's here training in Phuket. So of course, naturally, she's going to fight on our event. She's amazing. She's great with promotion. She's really keen. She works very hard. She's marketable. So we're going to have a lot of fun watching Ty fight. We got some amazing Thai talent. So,
and I didn't even mention. I didn't even mention Siriman Kong, the former boxing world champion. I think there's a little bit of a lag as well. If I interrupted you,
he's one of my favorite fighters. That lad for Booty event. Sorry, Nate, I missed that, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like I interrupted you. There was a little bit of a lag. I think you were in the middle of a statement, but I was talking about. I didn't even mention Siriman Kong, who was, you know, multiple weight class world boxing champion, who obviously is probably one of the biggest stars that you brought in for the first show, obviously, I'm sure that you want to continue to promote him as well.
He is just incredible. Like, he is just the most respectful guy you've met. I mean, the Thai, all of them. So Sin Sumet was amazing. He beat Johnny Tello, and Johnny Tello is one tough dude. That was a close fight. Sin Sumet won. Pong Pasan is just an incredible athlete. I believe he's going to be a champion. Siriman Kong, like you say, he is the most highest decorated Western style boxer that Thailand has ever produced. He's won multiple awards, multiple world titles, legitimate world titles in different weight categories too. 42 years old, stands at reigning guy with over 300 bare knuckle karate fights at 6'4". It was like this, but I wanted to see that stylistic matchup, and Siriman Kong clenched the win at the end by getting a knockdown. But yeah, I mean, he's a superstar over here, that guy. Lots more coming from him.
Man, yeah, this is all exciting. Talk to me. You've already sort of previewed the next show. It's coming in March. Talk to me a little bit more about that show, and then some of your plans for the rest of the year.
Okay, so I can't say too much, but I'll tell you this. We are literally in negotiations with a mainstream TV channel here now. Ty is looking like she'll be on the next card. Suriman Frady is probably, okay, I'll give you a sneak. She's on it. And we're looking to match her against the 6-time world Muay Thai champion for a BKFC Thailand title. That's an exclusive. I've only just agreed this with my business partner, so I've told you that now. We've got a couple more names. As I said, there's a guy coming from Glory. I'm not going to say his name just yet, but he's exciting. You want to watch that space. The guy, he knows how to promote. He's got a bee in his bonnet about BKFC. He's already calling out big names across the water. And I'm like, let's get you a win here first. But he's ready to go. We are going to be flying in some former UFC stars to fight some of our guys to see where we stand. And the plan is this. Now, we're going to be running multiple events this year. And we want to produce some Thailand champions. The Thailand champions will then fight some Americans or some Europeans, what we're going to call an intercontinental belt. And if our guys do well, they get a shot at the big title and the big show in the States. And I believe we've got a handful of guys, maybe 2 or 3 people here that I believe can hang with the guys in the States. So that's our plan in 2023, is to get a few of our guys to go over there and whip the Americans' asses and bring one of those belts back here. And then you've got to come to our doorstep and take it back.
Fair enough. Yeah, and that was going to be my next question about how much crossover there was going to be between BKFC Thailand and, for lack of a better term, the big show here in America with BKFC. But I feel like you just sort of hit on that a little bit. Is there a little bit more information about how that crossover may look like?
You're back now, buddy. So I lost you there, mate.
Yeah.
So about the crossover from Thailand to the States was the question. Yeah. So Dave, we and Dave have been in discussions. Dave's the big boss. So anything we do with his approval, than us, and I'm absolutely not confident that crossover and the guys can fight there. So there's like an agreement between us. We import the whole brand together. If he sees something here he likes, then they can go there, but they can also come back, and vice versa. So we've got a very good relationship between both, well, the one organization, but both different territories. So we could be exciting. So we're signing other regions around the world, and that's going to be the same case. So if we got people that are watching BKFC in Russia or the UK and they want to say against one of our fighters in Thailand, if we're hearing this buzz online, we'll make it happen.
And so there will be very much, as the, like you mentioned, there will be a BKFC UK, there will be a BKFC Russia down the line. There will very much be picking fights between the different promotions and stuff, and sort of an attempt to see which regional promotion's the best, and and if there's fights to make between the two, that's obviously going to happen. There's no sort of pride in we only promote within our promotion. There's a lot of cross promotion going on, which is really good for the sport, and really good, I'm sure, for all the promotions as well.
Absolutely. I mean, look, Dave's the boss. Dave makes the decisions, but the discussions I've been having with Dave, it's all exciting. And honestly, this is, I feel, just the beginning. I mean, I've spoke to Dave in detail about his plans, and I've seen his astronomical growth. He's got some very exciting announcements coming over the next few weeks, let alone the next few years. Definitely other regions are going to be opening up. I mean, watch this space. This is just the beginning. This is going to blow up. I think it's something that combat sports in the world is really excited about right now.
Going back to BKFC Thailand, obviously you held the card at the Peach in Pattaya. Talk to me a little bit about where else you're going, and will you eventually hopefully have your promotion on the edge of a cliff in Phuket?
Right, so the Peach is okay. So my business partner Kun Golf, he owns the Royal Cliff Hotels Group. They are a 5-star chain of hotels. They're beautiful, by far the best hotels outside of Bangkok. They're amazing. I mean, really, really high class. He has arguably the best convention center and event center outside of Bangkok, the Peach, which is where we run our events. He owns that too. So it's fantastic. My business partner owns a hotel and he owns the event center. So we have no intentions of going anywhere just yet. We have big intentions of spreading out across Asia on pay-per-view models. We're also going to be going on mainstream TV, but it's all going to happen from there. So they've got some of the best internet connectivity. It's a huge, huge venue. I mean, we wouldn't grow it out, not for a long time yet. So yeah, no intentions to move. And as for being on the side of a cliff in Phuket, no, we're going to be on the side of a cliff in Pattaya, where my business partner's hotel is. That's where we're staying. So the Royal Cliff Hotels Group in Pattaya, check it out. I mean, it's a beautiful location. Honestly, you got to see it to believe it. But what's so great about it, they've got 4 hotels on the site. They've got the convention center, but I literally it's like a playground for me. I can go anywhere. I can even go on top of a 27-story building on a helipad and run an event there if I want. We've been up there and looked at that as a potential spot to run an event. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. They own the beachfront. They actually own that whole stretch of beach there. It's a private beach that's owned by the hotel. So we could do stuff down on the beach. We could do stuff on the roof. I mean, just watch this space. We got a lot of crazy stuff happening.
That's really exciting. Yeah. And I mean, from the looks of when I saw the event personally, it looked like a great venue. Talk to me. The only thing that was missing was the fans. Talk to me a little bit about when you're looking at bringing them back on, and just how excited you are for that to change the atmosphere that much more.
Well, funny enough, we sold the venue out completely. I mean, it was complete sellout. We had people queuing up out the front. We couldn't get them all in. So due to COVID, we had some restrictions. So because of our high net worth networking group we have around the event, so we got a lot of businesses that come in and we do like cocktails, meet and greets before the event, and they have a chance to mingle and talk and network. Then we give them like a 3-course meal, silver service meal, on tables around the ring. So it's not like your standard stadium seating. It's a really high class event. And the COVID restrictions said that we need to put these seats, these tables 2 meters apart, and we have to be this far back from the ring. And then we have to we can only get 6 people on a table. So we used this whole space and we had to spread everyone out. And they said to us, we can only have 570 people in total. We kind of exceeded that. It went a little bit above. But the thing here is that because of our audience, they're a little bit more well behaved than Americans, should I say. But we sold the venue out completely. There was 1,000 people in the venue. And the restrictions did ease off literally just 2 days before the event. But it was too late to really expand it. So we put in as many people as we could. We had 1,000 in. We will comfortably fill that venue up more over the coming months as the restrictions start to ease off. We will have between 2,000 and 4,000 people in there, no problem at all. But yeah, we had 1,000 people, so it was actually a lot busier than we thought it was going to be.
And the plan is in the future to have those sort of business style tables where it's like a networking event as well, instead of like you said, the stadium style seating where like you would see at most other events, especially like BKFC or anything like that.
Yeah, dude, we got some plans. So my business partner's got visions, which I never really thought would align with BKFC at the beginning. It was his ideas, and I've watched them come to fruition, and actually it's really impressive. So he has this ultra high net worth network. I have a really big network of local businesses, which we're expanding all the time. So it is like a networking event, but we sell tickets to it as well, so people can come and enjoy the event. But my business partner's vision is to have like a weekend like lifestyle event around this. So things like we're going to run a concert with one of the best known hip hop bands in Thailand at one of our events this year. They're coming. Potentially, we're going to try and negotiate getting a theme tune as well. So we're going to have like a concert the night before. There'll be stalls set up around the area, a bit like a much lower level, but a bit like Formula One. We're trying to create that 3-day event. People can buy a package to come to the event, come and check out the weigh-ins, the press conferences, and then there's other activities to do on the beach, and there'll be a concert and lots of other stuff. I mean, there is a huge business model that we've got planned for this year. So it isn't going to be anything like your normal fight event. We got a lot of stuff happening, and yeah, we're probably always going to have the VIP tables and the VVIP tables ringside where we serve food. We serve the meal first. Like at the last event as well, we had 6 high-level models from an agency in Bangkok done like a fashion show for us, and at the end, this is for the ultra VIP guests, and at the end they all put on the BKFC ring girl uniform and done a catwalk for the guests in the BKFC ring girl uniform. So we got just stuff we're doing different. We want to bring it upper class. We want to make it an event, a lifestyle event, and networking around it as well.
A little bit more. Talk to me a little bit how you found, like your ring girls, how you found your ring announcer who,
Mark,
if I could say, did a pretty good job in going back and forth between English and Thai when announcing the fighters. And talk to me about your plans. Obviously, you said that you'd have a major TV deal. Are you planning on, at least for the English broadcast, keeping Wheelock and Lieben, or who else could possibly be broadcasting in English for BKFC Thailand?
Well, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about Mark first. Now, Mark Abbott is just fantastic. The guy is phenomenal. I feel very fortunate to have someone like Mark on my team. Not only is he exceptional in the ring, the guy, the preparation, the planning, the support. I mean, he is a team player. He's great. He speaks both languages, but in practice, I was practicing on the mic, and you can hear yourself saying what you just said. It's hard enough in one language. He is mixing between two languages. He's incredible, but he's also got the right image for what we need. Like the Thai people, they're not so keen, or we don't feel like they're so keen on the whole flamboyant, loud explosiveness that, you know, some of the Americans buy into and the English buy into. Yeah, this is a little bit more conservative, a little bit more business-like. We're gonna pick the ambience up a little bit, but Mark is perfect, and in my opinion, it was almost a flawless performance from him that night for a first attempt. It was brilliant. So very happy to have him. He's going to be staying. As I say, bilingual as well. So that was good. What was the other question, Mark? We moved.
I was asking about the ring card goals. I think you had a tryout for that.
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
Go ahead.
Tryouts, yes. Yeah, I mean, that was a tough job. We had to do the tryouts for the ring girls. My business partner has connections up in Bangkok with a model agency because his wife is a former Miss Thailand, Miss Universe. She represented Thailand in the Miss Worlds, and she's a model and she's an actress. So she's got all these connections, and they just brought these girls to the gym, and we had to pick a few for this fashion parade. And of course, they was on site, and they agreed to do the ring girls. So we actually had 6 or 7 ring girls for the night, which is quite rare for a fight show, as you know. All quite high level models. So that was quite interesting. The audience seemed to like that. The networking guests were quite like it. They'd done a full fashion show before, so that was quite a bit of fun as well.
Yeah, interesting. And then my next one was about the broadcast team. For the first event, it was Sean Wheelock and Chris Lieben.
Oh yeah.
What are the plans for the English language broadcast going forward?
Right, so that's a very good question. Now, I love Sean Wheelock. Sean, I'm a fan of Sean's. I used to watch him on the left way. He was great. So he actually commentated over in Burma. Beg your pardon, Myanmar. In Myanmar for the left way. And I think he's great. So I spoke to Dave and I was like, Dave, can we have Sean? And Dave went, of course you can have Sean. And obviously Chris was brilliant as well for one of his first attempts. He was great. So I don't want to change that. I think it's great. It's consistent with the brand. They obviously do it remotely. They're sitting in the States while the event takes place, and they're commentating for us. But I thought it was brilliant. I mean, the production just looked great. They were brilliant on the app. I just loved everything about it. A few things I'm going to change and improve on, but that's things on my end I can do. But that's always going to be the case. But no, Sean is staying. I'm happy with Sean. But for the Thai audience, obviously we're going to have a different commentary team, so we're discussing that now, because with the TV channel that we're talking to, we're going to need to make it more Thai friendly. So we'll probably have we send raw footage to the States to be mixed and then put to the app, go live. We're probably going to do a similar thing here for the Thai TV channel. We'll have ringside Thai commentators, which we know who they're going to be, but I won't announce the names just yet. We're still in talks.
Fair enough. And obviously, just recently you had one of Thailand's biggest, most famous stars help out with some tryouts and help out to help scout fighters and things like that. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I know where you're going with this one. I know where you're going with this question. You wouldn't be talking about Sanchi by any chance, would you?
Yeah.
Dude, like, what an amazing guy. In my opinion, I just think he is possibly the best Muay Thai fighter that's ever lived. I just think he's incredible. He's a fantastic guy. He's come and helped us with the tryouts. He's helped us do a little bit of coaching, a little promo work. He's very interested in what we're doing. And if you watch the Bangkok tryouts on BKFC Thailand YouTube channel, we interview him and we ask him a few questions about what he thinks about BKFC. That's worth watching. Have a look at that. Who knows where that's going to go from here?
That give that a look, because my next question is probably would it be? Is he interested in participating and fighting in BKFC Thailand? Because I'm
That's the
sure a lot of people want to know that.
Well, look, let me put it this way. Okay. Well, first of all, that's the question on everybody's lips. Everybody's asking, will Sanchi fight BKFC? Okay. And I'm about to tell you this. If there's any way in the world I can make that happen, I will make it happen. Okay. And there's something about me. I generally get what I want. I don't stop until I do. So let's see where it's going. But watch the Bangkok tryouts. You'll get a much deeper insight into what he thinks on the potential of him fighting on BKFC. But it's agreed. But I'm not giving up on that one myself because that's something I want to see.
And I'm sure a lot of even stateside fans want to see that. That's that'd be really exciting.
Well, watch this space. Watch this space, man.
Man. Okay. Talk to me, a little bit about, look at where you are now, running a promotion, living in Thailand. Talk to me about maybe what advice you would have had for yourself when you were living, when you were on the streets in England, and what you were doing back then, and talk to me about, just sort of reflect on how far you've come and things like that. Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to be honest. Like I'm blown away by my life, myself. Like I could never have scripted any of it. It's been amazing. When I was back as a kid growing up, I was dealing with all sorts of difficulties. Only like my own personal demons, nothing external, like some learning difficulties and issues with anger and stuff like that. But it really did cause me a lot of trouble. I got into so much trouble, and it was a constant downward spiral of just problem after problem, trouble after trouble, and I was out of control, quite frankly. And if I could have said to myself, if I could go back to then and say to myself, one day you're going to be doing this, I would have thought I was crazy. I mean, it's insane. But I think if I could go back and speak to my younger self, I'd just say, carry on doing what you're doing. I don't regret a thing. Everything that happened in my life, the good and the bad, has brought me to where I am today. I am the most positive, most driven, happiest guy you could imagine. I've got a beautiful wife. I've got a beautiful baby. I live in a beautiful villa. I've got sunshine and smiles every day. I'm running BKFC Thailand, and I go jet skiing at the weekends, dude. Like, what else more does a guy need? Like, and that's just some of it. Like, I could sit here for days and tell you about the madness that my life is. It's amazing. What can I say? I'm a very fortunate guy. I think the one thing with me is that I don't let anything tell me what I can and can't do. I have no constraints. I have no limitations. If I want something, I'm prepared to work my butt off to get it. And I generally do get what I want. So yeah, very, very happy, man.
And we'll end on this. How can people follow you, and how can people follow BKFC Thailand to get more information on upcoming events, upcoming news, and all of that?
Awesome. Okay, so download the BKTV app. That's the first protocol. Okay, it's free to download, and our content is free on the app. You can see the tryouts. You can see the last event. You can see the next event. You can stream them live, but you can also watch all the events from around the world when we go Russia, England, etc., in the United States. So definitely there. You can go to bkfc.com or bareknuckletv.com or bareknuckle.tv. That's the website. We're going to get a lot more presence on there. We just talked to Dave yesterday about how we're going to create a BKFC Thailand tab for that website. So we're going to keep one central website. We're not going to have our own. So that's the place to go for that. We've just started our own social media, Facebook, BKFC Thailand. We've got Instagram, and we've got TikTok as well, and YouTube, BKFC Thailand. So all you got to do is search for BKFC Thailand. You'll find all the information you need. It's just the beginning, but we have massive plans, lots of exciting things happening, huge names, and the list goes on. So jump on board while you can. You don't want to miss it.
For sure. And be sure to follow MMA Sucka, because there may be some exclusive news like he just revealed today with some of the fight announcements and things like that. Nick,
Yes,
is there any
actually,
final words? Go ahead.
sorry, Nate. I'm glad you said that because, as you well know, we've had a discussion recently where you've helped us by creating a BKFC tab on MMAsucka.com. So you're going to be getting exclusives from us that no one else will get at that time. So we're going to work with you. You're going to work with us. So that's definitely a site you want to go to, MMAsucka.com. There's going to be loads of exclusive updates coming your way from there, my man.
Yeah, fantastic. And we look forward to having more discussions in the future. And we look forward to the upcoming events, especially the one next month. Are there any closing thoughts on your end, Nick?
Okay, so I guess all I have to say for my end is Kapun Matkab and Sabari Kap. That means thank you very much and goodbye.
Fantastic. All right. All right. Take care. Thank you for the interview today. Thank you for your time and best of luck in the coming month.
Thank you very much, buddy. See you soon.